How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to talk to you today about my entire portfolio review. I know some of my Patreon members have been asking for this recently. I update them every week or two on that, but I want to give a general update for the channel too, so I thought I'd knock out two birds with one stone. So we're going to go through everything, through the debt that I have. We're going to go through the cash that I hold, all my investments. Now, I don't have every single investment broken down in that I have three different brokerage accounts, and I will show you what I have in each, but I have some of the same stocks in multiple accounts. So if someone feels like going through this whole video and breaking it down and then putting it down below, feel free. I think that's just a little bit intensive, so that's why I didn't do it. However, maybe some point in the future I will, or I'll have someone do it for me or something like that. So I appreciate it. Let's get into it. If you guys don't mind, though, please hit the like button. Please hit subscribe, too. I really appreciate that. This is going to be just like a one-shot, hopefully. I don't want to do a ton of editing on this just because it's going to be a longer video, and I do have to cut out some like account numbers, I think, too. But we'll get through it as simply as possible. And then, too, if you guys want, some of my money is in BlockFi, and I'll go over how much in here of my money is in it in a second. But if you guys want, I am putting my money where my mouth is. I really like them. There's a link down there below. You can get up to 8.6% on some of your cryptocurrencies. I actually wired some money there this week. And if you want some free money at WeBull, they're one of my main brokerage accounts because of some of the things that they offer, some of the aftermarket trading, pre-market trading, and stuff like that. You can definitely check out the link down below to that. And if you want to know what I'm buying and selling in real time, I just did a video just a couple days ago, or maybe it was yesterday, depending on when you're seeing this, that showed that I actually made 22% profit this week off my investments. I'm not saying that this is going to happen every week, but if you want to know exactly what I'm buying and selling, you can check out the link down below to Patreon. So let's go through. I'll show you on the screen what investments I have in a few minutes, but we have to go through some of the simple stuff like debt and cash and stuff like that. So I have student loans still. I still have student loans. I came out of school with $115,000 and I went for a degree. I was going to go to med school. If you're newer to the channel, I was going to go to med school, but I ended up not because I just didn't want to go that much further into debt. And I just didn't really like it that much at that point. I mean, I was done with all my classes up until med school, and then all I had to do was take the entrance exam. And I did really well in my classes, but I didn't want to go. So I got into finance, and I still had $115,000 worth of debt. And I started to pay it off really heavy after I got done with college. I came and lived at home with my parents, and I got that down to about $70,000. So right now, I'm still sitting at $68,000. I have enough cash to pay that off pretty much today if I wanted, and I'll explain how much I have in a second. But I don't want to because with the income that I have and with how taxes work in the U.S., and always go to a tax professional if you're curious about this. But there is a tax write-off that you can get for having or for paying interest on your student loans. So I'm keeping it because I have it at a low interest rate. I think it's right around 4.6%, which for some people that might sound high, but I'd rather have the flexibility of having the cash, and I get that tax deduction. So as I move up into higher tax brackets, it only becomes more and more valuable to hold on to those student loans. So they're a very small amount of my income right now, so I don't really worry about them too much. But I still have $70,000. I have it. I'm paying it over as long a time period as possible because I've locked in at such a low rate in my mind. Now, I also have, this is kind of an outlier investment, and then I'll get to the cash, but I have sports cards that I've invested in with another person actually here on YouTube. I have about $1,300 that I put into there. I'm not sure how much they're worth yet, but if I had to say, I'd say they're probably worth $1,700 to $2,000 so far. Kind of a riskier thing, but I have $1,300 in that. And then also, just going through, I do have some credit cards. I have like $1,000 on credit cards just over the last month. I don't carry a balance or anything like that, but I have $1,000 that will come out of my money eventually. But looking at my cash, I have a very significant cash position for my portfolio, and I don't even really consider this part of my investing portfolio. The reason is I'm saving up to buy a house. I also am getting paid a lot more than I was even 2 or 3 months ago. So I don't know exactly how taxes are going to break down. So that's something to keep in mind. So try not to be too hard on me in the comments. But I do have a significant portion of cash right now. I have about $80,000 in cash. Now, part of that, and most of it is just in my checking accounts because, again, I'm going to have to pay taxes here in the next few weeks, few months. But a lot of that has just been coming in. And then also, I do have about 4,500, 4,600 in BlockFi. So that account that I talked about before, I've been putting more and more money in it pretty much every week. I had 2,000, I put in another 2,500. So we're sitting around 4,600 overall in BlockFi, just in a cryptocurrency or a stable coin that's just tied to the US dollar so it doesn't fluctuate. Now, it would have been nice if I had thrown it into Bitcoin because Bitcoin's going up so much, but I'm just really parking my money there for that 8.6% APY there. Now, let's make sure that I haven't missed anything. I just have my personal capital up here. It's a website that we have here, or an app where it links to all your accounts. So I think that pretty much covers that. I have so I have a lot of money sitting in cash, but I'm expecting to have to pay probably $20,000 for taxes soon. I'm also expecting to have to pay for a house. And right now, my YouTube income doesn't exactly qualify me because it's so new to get a mortgage here. So I might have to buy it in cash and then get a mortgage on it later. So when the time comes, I'll explain that. But let's get to the investment. So that's a lot of cash, I realize. But we'll get into the investments here. So this is Fidelity. I have about 38,000 in Fidelity right now. I have it broken down into a couple different portfolios. This is just a brokerage account. I don't hold much here. It's mostly for companies I can't buy on other brokerages. Like, I don't think you can buy well, you might be able to buy Planet 13 on other brokerages now, but for a while it was a penny stock. TSNP you can't buy on other brokerages because it's highly volatile. Some people were asking what's my worst investment. It's TSNP. The thing is, I threw in such a small amount because it was just the cash, and I knew that it was really risky. So I lost about $30 on it. I said, though, when I bought it that it was highly, highly risky, so I was putting a very small amount, but enough that, if it went up a lot, I could take advantage of it. One other thing you have to realize, too, is I have a ton of different positions. Part of that is because I don't have a day job, really. I mean, this is my full-time job now. So I can pay attention to stocks a lot easier than a lot of other people can. And just doing what I do, I hear about new stocks all the time. So I get bullish, I buy them, and then they shoot up. And then I don't feel good about buying them anymore. So that's the problem. We also have 1 penny of CMA. I don't know why it won't let me sell this. But we have Planet 13. We have about $1,000 in it. Our average share price, $3.42. We were buying at $1.75, but we added all the way up until, I think, $4.25 or something like that. So good return so far, 78% on that one. We also have 55% on SBE. Bought into that one early in several different portfolios, and then TSNP, we're down a little bit. So not bad considering we started this year, and it was really just Planet 13 up until maybe August or September when we bought SBE and added some shares there. Now going down here, this is a 401k account. So this is a solo 401k. I just started it. That's why I have a lot of cash, because I plan on using this money to buy into the stocks I talk about on the channel. So that's why I'm sitting in a lot of cash in this portfolio. I don't usually suggest sitting in cash, but with how my taxes are set up, I had to throw a bunch of money at this towards the end of last year, and I could put it in stocks right now, but with the fact that I update YouTube with the stocks I'm buying, it just makes more sense when I'm trying to save up for a house to have some cash sitting here, so that way I can throw it in. So I have about $500 worth of ARK-G. I have about $1,500 of ARK-K. I have about $810 of CLSK. This is one that we just added to this week. And actually, sorry, I misread that. We have $516 of ARK-G, $1,675 of ARK-K. And this whole portfolio was just added to this last week. I don't think we bought really anything more than like a week or two ago in this portfolio. So in the last 2 weeks, we're up like 7 or 9%. So we have CLSK we bought for $810. Now we have $1,134. So a really good amount that it's up. Might have to buy some more of this today. Disney, about even on this one. We added some shares in this portfolio. I bought in some other portfolios too. JP Morgan Chase, up about 7.5%, good amount there. We have MCAC, a SPAC that I bought this week. I like this one. It has limited downside. It provides a lot of upside though. And then Tattooed Chef, about $1,000. Another one that I want to add to here soon, hopefully. We have a 401k account. This one was just one that I put in index funds. There's some small cap, some mid cap, and some large cap or total market. Not a ton of not any individual stocks, but not super interesting there. Then we have a health savings account. We have about $8,000 in there. Again, just in a total stock market index fund. Also have about $1,500 in another health savings account that I have to transfer over here just so that I can have it available. And then we have my M1 Finance portfolio. This is my dividend income and growth portfolio. You can kind of see how it's broken down here. This is the one that we just put $100 a week in. We're up a decent amount on all of these. You can see we're actually not red on any of them. I'll show you how it's actually broken down with the holdings, I believe is how I have to look at it. You can see, okay, we actually are down slightly in Realty Income and AT&T. I mean, we're talking $1 and $3, so not a big deal there. Overall, though, we have about $500 worth of gains. Again, just add $100 to a week to this one. That's all we do. The next one we have is my Roth IRA. We're up to almost 20,000 in this one, and I'll show you it here, and then I'll show it broken down a little bit more too. Vanguard, I transferred this in, so I just kept it. It's just a S&P 500 index fund. We also have Tesla, which we have a really good gain on. I think we were buying around 900. This is pre-split, so that would be about 180 or so. Now it's up to 800, so really good gain there. We also have Facebook, Disney, really bullish on those ones. Foot Locker had a good gain the other day. IIPR, another 100% plus stock. Qualcomm, 100% plus stock. And then you can kind of see how these are all broken down here too. So holding these ones long term, these are long-term plays for me. Let's just take a look at the activity, or the holdings, sorry. We have about 55% gains. We had a total gain of just over $7,000. So really good gain here. And it would have been even higher if we didn't have this S&P 500 index, if we had just bought all individual stocks here, because we have such good gains on it. But I want to diversify, and I just felt like I was an index fund investor only up until this year, so I just want to keep that there just in case like things didn't go well for me right early on, but we've done so well. It's changed my viewpoint on it a good amount. And then we have WeBull. So we bought IPOE just this week. We just bought it actually yesterday from the time of this recording, and we're up 25% on it in a day. We have NMTR, kind of a risky penny stock. Well, definitely a risky penny stock. We're just about we're just about even on it. I could have sold it when it was up, but I didn't. Part of the reason was I realized that when I make videos, I think it should kind of restrict me from buying and selling at the same time, because I don't want to like pump up a stock or anything like that. We also have BNGO up 223% over the week since we've had it. We have FUSE, which you can see how much we have of these here. And actually, I'll break it down by the largest here. So we have Tattooed Chef, $1,400 in here. We have BFT, still up 10% on this one. We have $1,300. BNGO, we talked about that, $1,000. Clean Spark, we have another $1,000 in this. I might be buying more Clean Spark, honestly. Even though I bought more this week, I might still be buying more. LGVW, we have about 900. Switchback, 850. MP, IPOE. Walt Disney, Facebook, and you can kind of see how the last ones are broken down. I'm still holding on all these. The only one that is down significantly is Magnite, and I still plan on holding this one. I know there's a short seller report, but you have to take those with a grain of salt because they're short selling the stock. So I still need to look more into that, but I'm most likely holding. I think it might be like another Fubo situation, but of course, do your own research. That's not the point of this video. It's just supposed to show you what I have. So overall, let me just pull back up my portfolio on my phone. I have that 80,000 or so sitting in cash. I also have a decent amount just in investments, and I know some people will say, why do you have so little in all these investments when you're making so like a good amount? Because some people see my income videos and they wonder why I have this. And the thing is, a lot of my investments, a lot of this money is new money. So at my old job, I was making what I thought was a good amount, which was $4,000 a month, about $50,000 throughout the year. But I'm making a lot more on YouTube, and you have to realize, I think some people don't realize, most of it is new. Like 3 months ago, I was making a fifth of what I'm making now. 2 months ago, I was making half. This month, I made double what I made the month before. So a lot of this is new. I have a lot of money that hasn't even hit my account for like what I've just done for the past month. So overall, I guess I have about 80,000 in cash. Overall in investments, I have about 75, a little bit more than that in investments. But again, a lot of that cash is going straight to the government soon. And then a lot of it's going to be saved up for a house. And then I have those types of loans that I'm paying on a little bit, but that's not really a big deal for me because it's $300-$400 a month. And at this point, that's not a large majority of my income by any means. So let me know what you guys think about this. I realize that I'm probably over diversified a little bit, but I can keep up with the number of stocks I have now. It's easier for me because I don't have a day job necessarily. So let me know what you think. Let me know what I'm missing. What stocks am I missing? If someone wants to break down every position I have in here, feel free. I think that might be a little bit intensive, but if you want to do that, definitely do that. If you want to know exactly what I'm buying and selling in real time, I think we're destroying the general market still. Last time I looked, I think our portfolio was up 38% versus the general market, and the general market was 18% up on the year. We were up 38%. And again, like that's being brought down by the indexes. Maybe a third of my money is in index funds, and that's dragging down my returns. And I think we're even doing better than we were then. I think we're probably around 40 to 45% return, if not a little bit better. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what I'm missing. I appreciate it. Thank you for checking out Patreon and WeBull if you want that free money. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.